So tomorrow I'll be married 14 years, together with my wife for 18. And I can understand now how when people have been married for a long time, they get divorced. And don't get me wrong, I don't plan on getting divorced. We don't plan on getting divorced. But something is happening in our marriage that I didn't anticipate when we first got married. And that thing, congratulations, Jasmine, they just made a year. They met in my Periscopes. They DM'd, they got married, they had sex. She's pregnant now. And that's because of me. Huh? That baby's in there because of me. You're welcome. What can I say except you're welcome? So what I didn't anticipate when I first got married is change. I didn't anticipate that after years of being married, Melissa would change, I would change, our hopes, our dreams, our thoughts, the way we see ourselves, the way we want to approach life, all that changes. You think, okay, I love this person and, no matter what, we're going to be together. And then that person starts saying, I think this way now, and I've never told you this. And it's like some core belief stuff. Like when I told Melissa, I don't want to work a regular job. I want to be an entertainer. When we first got married, I didn't feel that way. I wanted to just provide for her. My plan when we were first dating was to just go in the Army or the Air Force, just because that's what her dad did. That's what my dad did. That was safe. That really didn't change till I got kicked out of the Air Force ROTC. Then I was like, crap, I can't do this. But, then I was working at the bank and I was like, cool, I'm going to work my way up here. I'll be the man, blah, blah, blah. And I was doing entertainment on the side, but I wasn't like, I'm going to quit my job and do that. It was a dream and a hope way in the back of my mind. But, something switched along the way where I was like, I want to do this now. And I can't work a regular job no more. And that's a core belief change. Melissa, before we had kids, did not want kids. And not in a joking way. She for real was like, I don't want kids. I don't want kids. I want to have a career and, blase. I'd be totally fine if I never had children. I didn't feel that way at all. And thank God she forgot to take her birth control. Oh! Thank God we can get a prayer through. Huh? Thank God. Her lack of memory created Zay. Thank God. Her lack of memory again created Joe. After that, she got her tubes tied. So, we're believing, we're not believing God for a breakthrough there. We got baby on stage to play with if we need a baby now. But I see how people can get divorced after a long time, because I can see, imagine somebody's core belief changing and that affects you in a negative way or a way you didn't imagine. Sometimes people just be like, man, I don't like this new you. I don't want to adjust to this new you. I liked the old you, especially when that way is contrary to a core belief. Say your wife had been a homemaker, right? And every day you came home, she made dinner. And dinner was ready, the house was clean and all that type of stuff. And then as the kids age, she realized, you know what? I don't want to do that. I want to go get a job, right? And now her job that she has is a traveling, requires a lot of travel for work. She's got to be gone 2 or 3 days a week, 2 weekends out of the month. That's a core belief and change in how you, the husband, would live your life. Now you got to pick kids up. You got to make dinner. You got to take kids to soccer practice. It's going to require more of you in the family. And sometimes people are like, man, no, why are you doing this? It was fine the way it was. But the thing is, when people want to change and they want a different version of their life, they don't necessarily care how that impacts you. And I don't mean that in a negative way. When I wanted to start doing entertainment, Melissa, her feelings weren't my primary concern, because I was the one at work, hating every second of my job. And when I just wanted to quit, even in entertainment, one of the things that's fearful for her, me doing it full time, it's unpredictable. It's feast or famine. You could have a good couple years and then have nothing. And you might make less money in the regular world, but at least it's safe income. And sometimes people would rather be safe. You know, people would rather not risk it. Let me just get my little check. You know, I don't really need vacation. I just do my little stuff and be happy. And other people are like, not like that. I am not like that. I am a feast or famine type of guy. I don't care. I'll risk it all. You know, my wife is not like that. She would be okay making less money that was consistent and safe. And I would die doing that. And the thing is, you got to understand that when you've been married for a long time, you are asking yourself to learn to love someone differently at different times of their life. I had to learn love Melissa one way when we first got married. We were very young. Learned to love her another way when she got pregnant and we had our first kids. Her thoughts and processes changed. You know, when her parents got divorced, there were some things that I had to account for that I had never had to account for. Had the second thing, same thing. When I got fired, same thing. When I got another job, same thing. When we moved to LA, like, you're constantly changing. That's just life changes. No, now you factor in like people changing how they think, what they think of their life. And here's the other thing. A lot of times people's life changes doesn't include you. Like the way I see my life going isn't necessarily a reflection of my spouse, but my thoughts, they affect my spouse, if that makes sense. The way I see my life going in my marriage, you know, that affects my wife, that affects my kids. My kids, if they're my children, I have a dream that burns inside of me. They have to deal with me being gone. They get benefits that other kids don't get, but they also have a dad that travels a lot. And sometimes they get to travel with me, but that's not all fun for a kid. They love to travel and stuff, but waking up at 3 a.m. for a lobby call, that's not fun for anyone, not even adults. That's hard for me and my wife, the team, Tony, to hear. You can imagine how hard it is for an 11-year-old. But that's something they have to deal with. Just the same way my dad was in the military. In order for him to provide, he had to spend a year in Kuwait, and another year, 2 years in Spain, another year in Korea. You know, and we just would go whole years without him being there. Whole 10th grade year, I saw my dad like 3 days. That's just what you had to do. And people, you know, we take it personally, like, oh man, now you feel this way and this affects me. And they don't mean it like that, but they also can't change it. They can't just be like, well, I'm not going to do this because it affects you, because then they'll just grow to resent you. And that's why being married for a long time is hard, because it's almost like starting over every couple years. And I think the older you get, the less, like, I see what he always like, man, I'm done. Forget it. You can just have it. Go be with somebody else. I don't feel like doing that. Because people don't be wanting to do the work. And it is tough. It is hard. Like, I'll be like, man, this is a core thing. I got to change the way I approach life with you. And it's frustrating and difficult to be like, okay, now I got to do this and navigate this way and things like that. But it's worth it. And I think that's the thing that matters. And because I was one of those people back on Washington, they got divorced after 50 years. And I'm like, how? And people, even after 50 years, you could be like, man, I don't want this for my life. I want to do something new. I want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And marriage is work, and marriage is consistent work. And it's always going to be work, and it's never going to change. Like, the work part is never going to change. 10 years from now, Melissa's going to be totally different. I'm going to be totally different. If I were to blow up and get completely ridiculously famous, that is going to affect my family in a way they're not prepared for right now. Neither am I. And I'm going to have to learn to love my wife differently then. She's going to learn to love me differently. You have to share me with the spotlight. There's some things about even social media where she can do and post whatever she wants and nobody will do it in anything. But if I become like a humongous mega star and all that, all their lives change. The public perception of them changes. And sometimes people didn't ask for that. And that's just for me. That can change for anybody's life. It's just, I've been thinking about this and this is interesting to me. So I wanted to share with you. So anyway, God bless you. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know about Wednesday, but I'll be in London. Leaving for London on Wednesday. So I don't know. My Periscope time, I probably won't do that until I get back to the States because it'll be a different time. But anyway, love you. God bless you. God keep you. We'll see you at the conference.